Hi, thank you for joining us today. My special guest today is author and podcaster Rachel Wagner.
Hi.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you
So
so
Rachel's gonna
much.
tell us a little bit about what she does, and then, drum roll, she's going to answer the big question, how is she better every day? And what are her tips and advice for you?
Yeah.
So take it away, Rachel.
Yes. So I am Rachel Wagner. I have two podcasts / YouTube channels that I work on every day with Rachel's Reviews, which has family movie nights every week. And on Mondays, you can see I've now done, I think we're getting on to about 175. I've been doing it for many years.
Wow.
And I'm really proud of it. So check it out. I think you'll really like it. And I do a bunch of other podcasts and things like that on that channel, Rachel's Reviews. And then me and my friend Amber have the Hallmarkies podcast where we talk about all the Hallmark original movies, including 37 at Christmas this year. And we do that. We work really, really hard, but it's been a super rewarding, wonderful experience. And so yeah, it's great. I love animation and I love Hallmark movies and I love movies in general. So it's a lot of fun.
Does Hallmark give you previews? I mean, do they give you private links so you can watch these ahead of time, or are you watching TV with everybody else?
I'm watching TV with everybody else. In fact, we live tweet over at Hallmarkies Podcast on Twitter. We live tweet every single movie for the most part. There's a few we miss, but pretty much every week and every episode of any TV show on Hallmark, we cover When Calls the Heart. We cover, which is very popular. We cover Chesapeake Shores and The Good Witch, which we love. We're big fans of The Good Witch. And so, yeah, we are super, super your home for anything Hallmark. And this Christmas, we're going to try as much as we can to cover everything that's Christmas related. Like, we're going to try to cover some Lifetime movies that we like. We're going to try, I don't know, we're just going to try to do the best we can to cover as much as we can.
When did you first fall in love with Hallmark?
I've always been a fan of the Christmas movies. I wasn't really into the TV shows and or the yearly ones, but I always loved watching the Christmas ones. And I had watched with my co-host Amber, my friend, we had watched and podcasted about the show Anne with an E, and we were really excited because we both love Anne Green Gables, and we did not like Anne with an E. It was not for us. And so, but we had a lot of fun podcasting about it, and we felt that chemistry that you feel. And so, but we needed to like clear our palate of this miserable experience of Anne with an E. And so we did a podcast about, this was on my channel at the time. We did a podcast about our favorite Hallmark Christmas movies because it was Christmas in July at the time. And it went really well. We really liked it. And it just kind of, grew into this thing, and it's been really successful. We were featured on the Deseret News in August, and that was really fun. And we are just having a great time. It's a lot of work, but it's been really great.
Would you say that Hallmark is getting better every day?
Definitely. They're definitely putting more money into these. Even just like a little thing, they've aired 4 so far of the Hallmark movies as of this recording, and even just the snow is way better than last year. Like, they are putting more money. When you watch as many of these as I do, you really start to see some of these nuances that like the average viewer probably isn't going to notice.
Like, no, that's amazing.
Yeah. Like, you can see definitely that they're putting way more money to make it look real, because all these are filmed in the summer for the most part. So
that's so funny.
Yeah.
So now, you've been podcasting for how many years?
I mean, I have Rachel's Reviews. I've had it for, I've been a blogger. I have a blog. I've been a blogger for 10 years, and I've been a YouTuber podcaster for, I think 4 or 5 years. And over on my channel, we've just been doing Hallmarkies for a little over a year.
Oh, okay.
So
by the way, check down in the description below for all of the links to all of her projects and websites and podcasts and YouTube channels and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so the big question is, And you can answer this however you want, as a blogger, as a podcaster, as an author. What is it that you do to try to intentionally be better every day?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think I try to always look at things as learning opportunities. So even if it's something, if I'm going to a movie and I didn't really like the movie or it wasn't for me, I try to kind of think what is it they could do better? What didn't work for me? Try to think of it in an analytical way. And I feel like that whole experience makes you a better person because you're just thinking, you're analyzing things. But I think even in like my editing, I try to be better. I try to be better at my research. I try to be better when I'm interviewing people because we do weekly interviews. And I try to get better questions and just trying my best to in my job try to be better. And like, is there a new skill I can learn? Is there the whole reason I started my YouTube channel was because I felt like it was sort of I mastered blogging, but it was sort of the last work in marketing, and YouTube was kind of the last thing that I hadn't really I don't know, mastered. And it took, like, if you saw some of my early videos, it was just like my laptop, unedited, like terrible sound, terrible lighting, terrible. And I'm sure that I'll think back in a year from now and listen back to some of the podcasts and think, oh, wow, I was saying like so much, or wow, that was really bad, or I didn't have a very good question, but I think that's a learning tool to always kind of look back and realize, oh yeah, look, I learned how to do this. I learned how to do this in Photoshop. I learned how to, if you're always just sort of, to me, it's part of the fun of it is that you're constantly learning and becoming a fuller, richer person. And I also think that there's a couple things that I try to do every day. I try to say, I have a goal that I try to say 5 prayers a day, 3 meals, morning, evening. I don't always get there, but that's the goal. That's the goal. And I think certain little things like that, I think, help you become a better person. I think you trying to be a good friend, which is very important to me since I'm not married. I don't have kids. So my friends are very, very important to me. And one of the great things about doing the podcast is I have made so many great friends. And I don't know. So just some of those things, like really looking, what's the learning experience that I can take from whatever I'm doing? It makes things that maybe aren't that pleasant more pleasant.
I think that's an excellent answer, actually. And I love that you pointed out that there's growth along the way and that the mistakes are part of the learning process. Because I think a lot of people that want to become bloggers or do about a podcast or a YouTube channel are too afraid that it's not going to be good enough, it's not going to be perfect. And that perfectionism, I think, gets in the way of people starting. I know it was for me. I've been writing movie reviews for many, many years, and people kept saying, put it up on YouTube. And I was like, oh, it's not like I'm this, gorgeous creature that anybody's going to want to look at. People. So that's why I thought, well, I'm just going to do it. Nobody's going to watch it anyway. And each time I do a little one, it gets better and better. But it's hard and it's scary. And I love hearing from you that you're still doing things that are scary and hard, and that you're enjoying that as looking at it as a learning process. So
yeah, and you never know that somebody that's maybe a mom that's feeling frustrated or whatever, she could watch your imperfect video that you see lots of flaws in and be like, wow, that person is a lot like me, and that could be just what they need. I've definitely had that in the past where people that are sort of plus size or people that share sort of common things with me, that they, even just people finding out, oh, look, these girls like Hallmark movies. I like Hallmark movies. I don't know how many people friends we've made and have. Our friend Emma just wrote a beautiful blog piece about what blogging for Hallmark has meant for her as far as making friends and gaining confidence. And so you just never know the effect that you can have from just being yourself and pushing yourself to go one step further than you feel comfortable. Like, I don't think that we necessarily need to all of a sudden run a marathon, but like I always try to kind of step one step higher than maybe my comfort level. So just try a little bit more.
Yeah, and they call it the growth edge. We always stay in our comfort zone, but if you can get past that uncomfortable growth edge, that's where growth occurs.
And I also do work very hard. I am constantly doing interviews, preparing for interviews, preparing for the podcast, watching things. Like, it's a lot of work. And so it's not something that people are like, how do you prepare all this stuff? And I'm like, I don't do a lot of things that other people do because I'm working on the podcast. And so, you kind of have to decide what your one is willing to sacrifice too.
Actually, that's a really good point. Thank you for bringing that up too. And thank you for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah.
So be sure and comment below. We would love to find out, what is your growth edge and what do you do to get past it? Because it's scary. Yeah. And like this and subscribe to this YouTube channel because it's new and we need subscribers.
Love it. Yes, definitely subscribe for sure.
Thanks. And become better every day.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Bye for now. Thank you.